All right, now I'm going to start our Edge of Eternities boxes. And we'll start off with our Play Booster box. Here's some of the promo cards from Edge of Eternities for either buying a box or playing the Commander Box League is what they were calling it. I think they should call it Highlander, but here we are. You had Paladin Mire, which you could tap to add 2 colorless for a 3 cost, and you had Singularity Rupture, which is a 6 cost. You can destroy all creatures, then any number of target players each mill half their library rounded down, which is pretty nice. As a reminder, we're recording this while we're live for our stream anniversary, so this will get uploaded to YouTube later if you're watching it there. If you ever want to come over and hang out on Twitch and drop a follow and check out some of the content we're doing, feel free to do so. But we're going to check out Edge of Eternities. I did open a box for Summoning Grounds, which is the store that I go to, and a bunch of great people over there. We'll have some, if you're watching on YouTube, we'll have links in the description below for their TCG player and so forth. Also their YouTube and all that good stuff. Open the Play Booster box, you get one of the cards going through all the lovely things with planets and all that good stuff. Also gives you some ideas for draft on what you might want to play. I have not got to play any events for Edge of Eternities due to jury duty and my work schedule. So, here we are. Vibing, thriving, surviving. But let's start getting to these packs and see what we pull. I don't know that I'm going to read through every card. I probably will. And then we'll kind of go and see what we get. So Cloud Sculpt Technician is a 3 cost Jellyfish Artificer with flying. As long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1/+0. We have Bright Spear Zealot is a 3 cost Vigilance. This creature gets +2/+0 as long as you've cast 2 or more spells this turn. It's a 2/4. So can't go too bad with that. Sky Stinger, 3 cost with Reach. Whenever this creature blocks a creature with flying, this creature gets +5/+0 to end a turn. Yo, that's a pretty good 3 cost blocker. Definitely taking that most of the time. Nebula Dragon, 7 cost, flying. When this creature enters, it deals 3 damage to any target. It's a dragon. It costs a lot. You know how it goes. Grav Pack Monoist. 3 cost with flying. When this creature dies, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. It's a 2/1. Mecha Nozoa is a 6 cost artifact creature. When this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Yo, we always love stun counters. And it has warp. It's 5/5. You have Thawbringer is a 3 cost. When this creature enters or dies, you can surveil 1. You have Survey Mechan. This is a 4 cost with flying. It has hexproof. You can pay 10, sacrifice this creature. It deals 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards, gains 3 life. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the number of different named lands you have. It's a 1/3. So, a bit of an interesting card. Not against it, for sure. Specimen Freighter is your 6 cost artifact spacecraft. Oh, remember, spacecrafts in Edge of Eternities do have that ability to be used as a commander. When this spacecraft enters, return up to 2 target non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hands. You can station it. For 9+, it gets flying, and whenever this spacecraft attacks, defending player mills 4 cards. It's a 4/7. Melt Strider Eulogist is a 3 cost. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, draw a card. It's a 3/3. Godless Shrine. It's a land. As this land enters, you pay 2 life. If you don't, it enters tapped. Good old shock lands. Requiem Monolith. Until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature is dealt damage. You draw that many cards and lose that much life. That creature's controller may have this artifact deal 1 damage to it. Activate only as a sorcery. Menuon Urthros Exile. 3 cost with flying. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It's a 1/3. Like that hollowing on it. The lands on this set are so good. All the lands are good. They're just all good. And then we have a lander token. So not too bad. Not too bad. Trying to separate out everything. So I do a little bit better about my organization here than I normally do. So a nice little first pack there. Come on. Mechan Shieldmate is a 2-cost artifact creature. It's a defender. As long as this artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn, this creature can attack as though it didn't have defender. And it's a 3/2. Focus Fire is a 1-cost. Focus Fire deals X damage to target attacking or blocking creature, where X is a 2+ the number of creatures and or spacecraft you control. That's actually a pretty nice. Intrepid Tenderfoot is a 2-cost. You can pay 3 and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Activate as a sorcery. It's a 2/2. Rig of War is a 2-cost. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike and reach until end of the turn. Virus Beetle is a 2-cost. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. It's a 1/1. Nutrient Block is a 1-cost. Artifact Food. Pay 2 and tap it. Sacrifice this artifact. You gain 3 life. When this artifact is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Drill Too Deep is a 2-cost. You can choose one. You can put 5 charge counters on a target spacecraft or planet you control. You can destroy a target artifact. So, actually, pretty nice there. Wedge Light Rammer is a 4-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. 9+ is its station cost. Flying with first strike. It's a 3/4. Vote Out. It's kind of funny. 4-cost. He has Convoke. Your creatures can help cast this spell. Each creature you tap while casting the spell pays for 1 or 1 mana of the creature's color. Destroy target creature. Your Social Engineering is a 5-cost. Has landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token, and it has warp. Mechan Assembler is a 5-cost. Artifact creature. Whenever another artifact you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. This ability triggers only once per turn. It's a 4/4. Ooh, Cosmogrand Zenith, a 3-cost creature. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose one. Create a 2/1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. It's a 2/4. That's feeling pretty good. Blade of the Swarm is our 4-cost hollow here. It's a creature. When this creature enters, choose 1. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. Put a target exile card with warp on the bottom of its owner's library. It's a 3/1. And we got another one of those lovely full art lands. And another lander token. Definitely liking this so far. Feeling pretty good about it. Biosynthetic Burst is our 2-cost to start off this pack. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains reach, trample, and indestructible until the end of turn, and then untap it. Kind of crazy. Indestructible always is a insane thing to me. Melded Moxite is a 2-cost artifact. When this artifact enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Pay 3. You can sacrifice this artifact to create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Comet Crawler is a 3-cost with lifelink. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's a 2/3. Sinister Cryologist is a 3-cost. When this creature enters, target creature an opponent controls gets -3/-0 until end of turn. It has warp. It's a 2/3. I forgot to mention, it's a jellyfish wizard. Auxiliary Boosters is a 5-cost artifact. When this equipment enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token and attach this equipment to it. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 and has flying. Its equip cost is 3. Thaumaton Torpedo is a 1-cost artifact. You can pay 6 and tap it. Sacrifice this artifact, destroy target non-land permanent. This ability costs 3 less to activate if you attacked with a spacecraft this turn. Radiant Strike is a 4-cost instant. Destroy target artifact or tap creature. You gain 3 life. Siege Ship Argarian is a 4-cost creature. When this creature becomes tapped, create a lander token. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It's a 3/3. Lightless Evangel is a 2-cost creature. Whenever you sacrifice another creature or artifact, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It's a 2/2. Sunstar Expansionist is a 2-cost creature. When this creature enters, if an opponent controls more lands than you, create a lander token. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It's a 2/3. Atomic Microsizer is a 1-cost artifact. The equipped creature gets +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, choose up to one target creature. That creature can't be blocked this turn and has a base power and toughness 1/1 until end of the turn. Equip 2. Lightstall Inquisitor is a 1-cost creature angel wizard with vigilance. When this creature enters, each opponent exiles a card from their hand and may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. Each spell cast this way costs 1 more to cast. Each land played this way enters tapped. It's a 2/1. Our holo is Intrepid Tenderfoot. We saw that one earlier. Got a normal land and a robot token. It's always fun going through the sets like this and reading all the cards so you can kind of get an idea of what everything is and just the different options that are there. I always enjoy that. Nebula Dragon, we saw that earlier. Let me re-separate some of these cards to give myself a little bit more space here. Gravkill, I like the art on this card a lot for a common. It's a 4-cost exile target creature or spacecraft. Self-Craft Mechan, 4-cost. Whenever this creature enters, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Draw a card. It's a 3/4. Focus Fire, we saw earlier. Drix Fate Maker is a 4-cost. Drix Wizard, when this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has Trample. It also has Warp, and it's a 3/2. Rig for War, we saw. Worm Wall Sweeper, artifact spacecraft, 2-cost. When this spacecraft enters, surveil 2. 4+ for its station. It has flying, and it's a 2/2. Monoist Sentry is a 1-cost defender artifact creature with it's a 4/1. Vault Guard Trooper is a 5-cost creature. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. It's a 5/5. Steel Swarm Operator is a 2-cost artifact creature with flying. You can tap it for 1 mana, spend this mana only to cast artifact spells. You can tap it for 2 mana to spend this mana only to activate abilities on artifact sources. It's a 1/1. Tanuk Memorial Ensign is a 3-cost legendary creature with landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, Tanuk deals 1 damage to each opponent. If this is the second time this ability has resolved this turn, draw a card. It's a 2/4. Bioengineered Future is a 3-cost enchantment. When this enchantment enters, create a lander token. Each creature you control enters with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each land that entered the battlefield under your control this turn. That is actually an insane card, especially with some of the precons. Station Monitor is our holo. It's a 2-cost creature lizard artificer. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying, and this token can block only creatures with flying. It's a 2/2. Our land and our token. Fungal Colossus, a 7-cost creature. This spell costs X less to cast, where X is the number of differently named lands you own. It's a 5/5. That could get kind of nuts later on. Kavaran Skywarden is a 5-cost creature with reach. It has void at the beginning of your end step. If a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It's a 4/5. Gravblade Heavy. As long as you control an artifact this turn, creature gets +1/+0 and has Death Touch. Divert Disaster is a 2-cost instant counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. If they do, create a lander token. Banishing Light is your 3-cost enchantment. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until this enchantment leaves the battlefield. Sammy's Curiosity is a 1-cost sorcery. You gain 2 life. Create a lander token. Chrome Companion, Doggo, 2-cost artifact creature. When this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. You can pay 2 and tap it. Target card from your graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. It's a 2/1. I love Doggo. Lash Whip Predator is a 6-cost creature. This spell costs 2 less to cast if your opponent control 3 or more creatures, and it has reach. It's a 5/7. Gigastorm Titan is a 5-cost creature. This spell costs 3 less to cast. If you've cast another spell this turn, it's a 4/4. Debris Field Crusher is a 5-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, it deals 3 damage to any target. Station has flying for 8+. You can pay 2. This spacecraft gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's a 1/5. Dual Sun Adepts is a 3-cost. It's a creature with double strike. You can pay 5 creatures you control, get +1/+1 till end of turn. It's a 2/2. Elegy Acolyte is a 4-cost creature with lifelink. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. Void. At the beginning of your end step, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn, or a spell was warped this turn, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. That's pretty sick. Command Bridge. Land. This land enters tapped. When this land enters, sacrifice it unless you tap or untap permanent you control. You can pay 1, add a 1 mana of any color. I like the hollowing on that one. That one's cool. Another land and our token. I like this set too because I pulled a waste when I was at the shop, and like the waste cards for lands is so cool. Caveron Turbo Drone is your 3-cost artifact creature. You can tap it. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains haste until end of the turn. Activate only as a sorcery. It's a 2/3. Grav Kill we saw earlier. Mechan Shieldmate, I believe we saw as our defender there. Focus Fire. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Thaumaton Torpedo. Radiant Strike. Destroy target artifact or tap. Yep, we've seen that one. Bygone Colossus is a 9-cost artifact creature with Warp 3. It's a 9/9. Whew. Mechan Navigator. Melstride's Resolve is a 1-cost enchantment creature you control. When this aura enters, enchanted creatures fights up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Enchanted creature gets +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. I actually like that a lot. Faller's Faithful is a 3-cost creature, human wizard. When this creature enters, destroy up to 1 other target creature. If that creature was dealt damage this turn, its owner draws 2 cards. It's a 3/1. Extinguisher Battleship, 8-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, destroy target non-creature permanent. This spacecraft deals 4 damage to each creature. Station for 5+ with flying and trample. It's a 10/10. That is sick. I'd love that one. That one's cool. Blightspear Zealot we saw earlier. Ooh, it's a hollow land. Look at that. God, dude, the lands are so good in this set. I like it when there's good lands. Ooh, we got Hole Carver in this one. 1-cost artifact creature with Death Touch. It's a 1/1. Mental Modulation we've seen. Lux Knight Breacher is a 4-cost creature. This creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it. For each creature or artifact you control, it's a 2/2, so it could wind up really fast. Biosynthetic Burst. Melded Moxite. Comet Crawler we haven't seen yet. 3-cost. Lifelink. When this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, this creature gets +2/+0 until the turn. Temporal Intervention is a 3-cost sorcery with Void. This spell costs 2 less to cast if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Ooh. Caesarian Dirgecraft is a 5-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. 7+ gives for station is flying and it becomes a 4/3. Hemosymbic Might is a 1-cost creature. When this creature becomes tapped, another target creature you control gets +X until the turn, where X is the creature's power. It's a 1/1. Rayblade Trooper is a 3-cost creature. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a non-token creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. It has Warp for 2, and it's a 2/2. Kavarian Harrier is a 1-cost artifact creature. When this creature attacks, you may pay 2. If you do, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice that token at the end of combat. It's a 2/1. Yo, we got Lobster. Ragos, Deft, Gastronaut. 2 cost, legendary creature. Artifacts you control are foods in addition to their other types, and you can pay 2 and tap it. Sacrifice this artifact, you gain 3 life. You can pay 1 and tap, sacrifice a food. Ragos deals 3 damage to each opponent. At the beginning of each instep, if you gain life this turn, untap Ragos. He's a 2/2. I love that card. Ore Plate Pangolin is a 2 cost artifact creature. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1. If you do, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Normal land and our token. Ah! Look, another Ore Plate Pangolin. Back to back. Pedigree Beckoner, 5 cost creature. When this creature enters until end of turn, another target creature you control gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies, return to the battlefield tapped under its owner's control. Has warp and it's a 4/5. Cryogen Relic is a 2 cost. When this artifact enters or leaves the battlefield, draw a card. You can pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, put a stun counter on up to 1 target tapped creature. Squire's Light Blade, 1 cost artifact equipment. Flash, when this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature you control. That creature gains first strike until end of turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. It equips for 3. Gene Pollinator is a 1 cost artifact creature. You can tap it and tap an untapped permanent you control. Add 1 mana of any color. It's a 1/2. Pinnacle Killship is a 7 cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, deal 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. You can station for 7, get flying, and it's a 7/7. Some of these spacecraft are crazy. Meldstrider's Gear, you can pay 1. This artifact equipment, when this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2/+1 and has reach. Equipped for 5. Terrapact Intimidator is a 2 cost creature. When this creature enters, target opponent may have you create 2 lander tokens. If they don't, put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature. It's a 2/1. Pulsar Squadron Ace is a 2 cost creature. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a spacecraft card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in a random order. If you didn't put a card into your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It's a 1/2. Umbral Caller Zealot is a 2 cost creature. Sacrifice another creature or artifact. Surveil 1. It's a 3/2. Unravel. Ooh, that's cool. Is a 3 cost instant counter target spell. If the amount of mana spent to cast the spell was less than its mana value, draw a card. Terra Symbiosis is a 3 cost enchantment. Whenever you put 1 or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, you may draw that many cards. Do this only once a turn. That's really great. Dawnstrike Vanguard's a 6 cost creature with lifelink. At the beginning of your instep, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control other than this creature. It's a 4/5. And we have our swamp. And token. Ooh, Cryo Shatter is a 1 cost enchantment aura. Each enchanted creature gets -5/-0. When enchanted creature becomes tapped or is dealt damage, destroy it. I love the art on that card. Some of the common arts are really, really good. Weftblade Enhancer is a 6 cost creature. When this creature enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. It has warp and it's a 3/4. Shattered Wings is a 3 cost sorcery. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. Surveil 1. Cavron Turbo Drone, another Grav Kill. Swarm Kohler is a 4 cost creature with flying. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, draw a card. It's a 2/4. Thawbringer, we've seen. Scout for Survivors is a 3 cost sorcery. Return up to 3 target creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of them. Ethereal Dreaming Acolyte is a 3-cost legendary creature. When Ethereal enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. During your turn, Ethereal has Death Touch. It's 2/3. Annul is a 1-cost instant, counter target artifact or enchantment. Yo! Raging Ravine. Look at that land, baby. This land enters tapped. You can tap it for red or green. You can pay 4 until the turn. This land becomes a 3/3 red and green elemental creature. With whenever this creature attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. It is still a land. Oh, that's sick. 0-point Ballad, X, and a swamp is a sorcery. Destroy all creatures with toughness X or less. You lose X life. If X is 6 or more, return a creature card put into a graveyard this way to the battlefield under your control. Oh, and we got a Hollow Ragos. Let's go. And a Hollow Plains. Yo, that was a great pack. We love that. That was fantastic. Not going wrong there, baby. All right. Fungal Colossus, Kavarian Skywarden, Grab Blade Heavy, Divert Disaster, Banishing Light. You can pay 3. When this enchantment enters, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until enchantment leaves the battlefield. Galactic Wayfarer is a 3-cost creature. When this creature enters, create a lander token. It's a 3/3. We've seen Doggo earlier. Wefstalker Ardent is a 3-cost creature. Whenever another creature or artifact you control enters, this creature deals 1 damage to each opponent. It has Warp. It's a 2/3. Ooh, Glacier Godmaw. 7-cost creature with Trample. When this creature enters, create a lander token. It has Landfall. It gets a +1/+1 and gains Vigilant and Haste till end of the turn. It's a 6/6. Wow. Biomechan Engineer is a 2-cost creature. When this creature enters, create a lander. You can pay 8, draw 2 cards, and create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. It's a 2/2. Sacred Foundry. Nice little shock lands there. We've seen some of those. Oh boy, Space Time Anomaly. 4-cost sorcery. Target player mills cards equal to their life total. Wow. God, what a sick art, dude. That is, and what a great card. It's great in Commander. Cloud Sculpt Technician, 3-cost creature. Flying, as long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1/+0. Forest and token. That Space-Time Anomaly is really, really cool. All right. Comet Crawler, Sinister Cryologist. Auxiliary Booster is a 5-cost artifact. When this equipment enters, you create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Equipped creature gets +1/+2 and has flying. You equip for 3. Biosynthetic Burst. Plasma Bolt, 1-cost. Plasma Bolt deals 2 damage to target. Also has Void. Hole Carvers, we saw earlier. Depressurize. I love this art too. It's 2-cost instant. Target creature gets -3/-0 until end of turn. If this creature's power is 0 or less, destroy it. Meldstrider's Gear. Ruinous Rampage, 3-cost. Avoid Infiltrator is a 3-cost creature. This creature can't be blocked if you cast 2 or more spells this turn. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. It's a 1/3. Rescue Skiff is a 6-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, return target creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. 10 plus for station. Has flying, and it's 5/6. Oh my goodness, baby. Infinite Guideline Station. One of everything. 5-color card, legendary artifact spacecraft. When Infinite Guideline Station enters, create a tap 2/2 colors robot creature token for each multicolored permanent you control. 12 plus flying. Whenever Infinite Guideline Station attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent you control. It's a 7/15. What an insane card, dude. Wow. Sinister Cryologist is our holo. And then we have our land and our lander token. Yo, the packs are hitting. Diplomatic Relations, 3 cost, target instant, target creature gets +1/+0 and gains vigilance till end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature and opponent controls as well. Kavorian Skywarden, Grab Blade Heavy, Divert Disaster, Banishing Light, Fungal Colossus. Red Tiger Mechan is a 4-cost artifact creature with haste. It has warp and it's a 3/3. Swarmcoller. Atmospheric Greenhouse is a 5-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. 8+ for station, flying, and trample. It's a 5/4. All Fate Scrolls, a 3-cost artifact. You can tap it for one of any color. Or you pay 7 and tap it, sacrifice this artifact, draw X cards, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Litho Breaking is a 3-cost instant. Create a lander token, then you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, Litho Breaking deals 2 damage to each creature. Anti-Casual Vistage, 6-cost creature Eldrazi. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with a mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield. It has Warp for 4. It's a 7/5. Cav Landseeker, your 4-cost creature, has Menace, and when this creature enters, create a lander token. At the beginning of the end step of your next turn, sacrifice that token. He's a 4/3. Land and token. We have Self-Craft Mechan, Flight Deck Coordinator, Drix Fatemaker, Melded Moxite, Comet Crawler, Sinister Cryologist, Depressurize, Invasive Maneuver is a 2-cost instance. Invasive Maneuvers deals 3 damage to target creature. It deals 5 damage instead if you control a spacecraft. Not bad. Mana Sentry is a 1-cost artifact creature defender. Larval Scoutlander is a 3-cost artifact spacecraft. When the spacecraft enters, you may sacrifice a land or lander. If you do, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Can station for 7+, flying, in a 3/3. Emergency Eject is a 3-cost instance. Destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a lander token. 0-Point Ballad, saw earlier. Starfighter Pilot, 2-cost. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, Surveil 1 is a 2/2. Hololand and a token. Orbital Plunge, pay 4. Orbital Plunge deals 6 damage to target creature. If excess damage was dealt this way, create a lander token. I kind of like that. Embrace Oblivion. Ilvoy Galeblades, 1-cost flash flying, pay 2 to sacrifice this creature, draw a card. It's a 1/1. Night Luminary is a 4-cost creature. When this creature enters, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. You can warp it for 2. It's a 3/2. Blooming Stinger is a 2-cost with Death Touch. When this creature enters, another target creature you control gains Death Touch until end of turn. It's a 2/2. Temporal Interventions, a 3-cost with Void. Target opponent reveals their hand. Oh, we saw that one earlier. Galactic Wayfarer. Fell Graveship is a 3-cost artifact spacecraft. When this spacecraft enters, mill 3 cards, then return a creature or spacecraft card from your graveyard to your hand. 8+ for station, flying, lifelink, and it's a 3/2. Honor is a 1-cost. Put a +1/+1 counter on creature, draw a card. I like that a lot. Earthos Psionist is a 3-cost creature. The second spell you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. It's a 2/4. Galvanizing Saw Ships, a 6-cost artifact spacecraft. 3+ station gives you flying and haste. He's a 6/5. Pain for All is a 3-cost enchantment aura. Enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchanted creature deals damage equal to its power to any other target. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. Oh my god. Ilvoy Galeblade. Woo! We hit the camera a little bit. My bad, chat. Let's refocus there. Full art planes and our token. I'm really liking our pull so far, and we're about halfway through the box. Feeling pretty good. All right. We have Rig for War, Virus Beetle, Self-Craft Mechan, Flight Deck Coordinator, Drix Fate Maker, Melded Moxite, Red Tiger Mechan, Station Monitor. It's 2-cost creature. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token. With flying, this token can block only creatures with flying. Reroute systems, a 1-cost. Choose one target artifact you can or creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Reroute systems deals 2 damage to a target tapped creature. Amudian Terra Botanist, 2 creature landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain a life. It's a 2/3. Sasorian Voidborn is a 3-cost creature. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life. You gain 1 life. It's a 2/2. Pinnacle Starcage, 3-cost artifact. When this creature enters, exile all artifacts and creatures with mana value 2 or less until that artifact leaves the battlefield. Pay 8. Put each card exiled with artifact into its owner's graveyard. Then create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token for each card put in the graveyard this way. Sacrifice this artifact. That is kind of nuts. I don't think you get to play it, but if you did, probably insane. Grave Pack Monoist, land, and token. We got Gene Pollinator. Bombard, deal 4 damage to target creature for 3. Dark Endurance, pay 2. Instant, this spell costs 1 less to cast for targets a blocking creature. Target creature gets +2/+0 and gains indestructible until end of turn. Evoy Lightjammer for 2. Artifact Flash. When this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature you control. That creature gains hexproof until the turn. Equipped creature gets +1/+2. It costs 3 to equip. Starfighter Pilot. Zookeeper Mechan is a 2-cost artifact creature. You can tap it for a mountain. You can pay 7. Target creature you control gets +4/+0 until the turn. Activate only as a sorcery. It's a 1/3. Got a command bridge. Faller's Faithful. Saw earlier. We just saw Reroute Systems. And a Amudian Terra Botanist. Ruinous Rampage. The Dominant Bracelet for 2. Legendary artifact. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has pay 15. Exile the Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the creature's power. Is this creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. Equip cost is 1. Wow. That is crazy. Godless Shrine. Lands, it's a plain swamp. It's your shock lands, and we got it as a holo, so we'd love to see that. I've done a good job of not spoiling myself on this set, so it's good to like read through everything and like see it too. So we have Bombard, Dark Endurance, Ilvoy Lightjammer, Starfighter Pilot, Sammy's Curiosity, Wormwall Sweeper, Nanoform Sentinel. You pay 3 artifact creature. When this creature becomes tapped, untap another target permanent. This ability triggers only once each turn. Harmonious Grove Strider is a 5-cost creature you can ward for 2. This creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. Honored Knight Captain. Pay 2 creature. This creature enters the 1/1 white human soldier creature. You can pay 6, sacrifice this creature, search your library for an equipment card, put it on the battlefield. It's a 1/1. Remnant Elemental. It's a 2-cost creature with reach. It has landfall where you get +2/+0 until the turn. It's a 0/4. Sirvondom the Lucent. It's a 5-cost legendary creature with Death Touch and Lifelink. Whenever Sirvondom enters or attacks, each other creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain Death Touch until the turn. That's actually an insane card. Nova Hellkite. Yo. 5-cost creature. Dragon, flying haste. When this creature enters, deal 1 damage to target creature an opponent controls. Warp cost is 3. It's a 4/5. Litho Breaking is a 3 cost instant. Create a lander token. Then you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, Litho Breaking deals 2 damage to each creature. Some of these cards are kind of crazy. All right. I think this set would be interesting for draft. I haven't got to play it yet in draft, but I have a feeling it's going to be a time if I get to. So we had Blooming Stinger there, Cav Ladseeker, Beamsaw Prospector, Cloudscope Technician, Bright Spear Zealot. Sky Singer is a 3 cost with reach. Oh, that's the one that gets +5/+0 until turn. Nice. Zookeeper Mechan. Blade of Swarm is a 4 cost creature. When this creature enters, choose 1. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on this creature, or put a target exiled card with Warp on the bottom of its owner's library. It's a 3/1. Dauntless Scrapbot is a 3 cost artifact creature. When this creature enters, exile each opponent's graveyard. Create a lander token. It's a 3/1. Exiling the whole graveyard's crazy. Sammy Ship's Engineer is a 4 cost legendary creature. At the beginning of your instep, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, create a tapped 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Pull Through the Weft is a 5 cost. Return up to 2 target non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Then return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. This is great for the World Shaper precon. Thrumming Hive Pool, let's go, baby. 6 cost artifact. Affinity for Slivers. Slivers you control have double strike and haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, create 2 1/1 colorless Sliver creature tokens. Sliver. Like lizard, but sliver. Close Encounter. 2 cost instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, choose a creature you control or a warp creature card you own in exile. Close Encounter deals damage equal to the power of the chosen creature or card in the target creature. And a couple hollows. Mental Modulation. Lux Knight Breacher, Diplomatic Relations, Oreplate Pangolin, Pirigi Beckoner, Alovi Operator, Nanoform Sentinel, Dock Worker Drone, Tanook Memorial Ensign, 3 cost with landfall. He deals 1 damage to each opponent. The second time this ability resolves, draw cards at 2/4. Steel Swarm Operator is a 2 cost with flying. We saw that one earlier. Voltguard Trooper. At the beginning of your instep, you control 2 or more tapped creatures. You may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. Remember that one. Starwinder, 7 cost creature Leviathan. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. Warp for 4. He's a 7/7. Jeez Louise. Depressurize Hollow. Nice. Land and token. All right. Embrace Oblivion. Ilvoy Galeblade. Night Luminary. Bloomstinger. Cav Landseeker. Beamsaw Prospector. Zookeeper Mechan. Interceptor Mechan is a 4 cost artifact creature with flying. This creature enters. Return target artifact or creature card from your library to your hand. Or sorry, from your graveyard to your hand. You can void, and it's a 2/2. Tractor Beam is a 4 cost enchantment aura. Enchant creature or spacecraft. When this aura enters, tap enchanted permanent. You control enchanted permanent. Enchanted permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Sunstar Lightsmith is a 4 cost creature. Whenever you cast your second spell, each turn put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Draw a card. It's a 3/3. Hymn of the Faller is a 2 cost sorcery. Surveil 1. You can void. I think we saw that one earlier. Diadrin Synthis Amalgam. X Forest Plains. Legendary artifact creature construct, trample. Diadrine enters with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the amount of mana spent to cast it. Whenever you attack or you remove a +1/+1 counter from each of the 2 creatures you control, if you do, draw a card, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. It's a 0/1 to start off with. Banishing Light, yo, that's another fantastic holo. The foiling on that's really, really good. I like when the basics get good foil treatment. All right, auxiliary boosters, biosynthetic burst, plasma bolt, hole carver, mental modulation, pinnacle kill ship, 7 cost. It enters, deals 10 damage deals 10 damage up to 1 target creature. Stations for 7+ with flying. It's a 7/7. Lost in Space is a 4 cost instant. Target artifact or creature's owners puts it on their choice at the top or bottom of their library. You surveil 1. Close Encounter. Seed Ship Brood Tender is a 2 cost. When this creature enters, mill 3 cards. You can pay 5. Sacrifice this creature. Return target creature or spacecraft card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate only as a sorcery. It's a 2/3. Disculpting Blast is a 2 cost. Instant. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, create a 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying. This token can block only creatures with flying. Oopsie, I put that in the wrong stack. Territorial Bruntar is a 6 cost creature with reach. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card until this turns. It's a 6/6. Rust Harvester is a 1 cost artifact creature robot with menace. You can pay 2 and tap it. Exile an artifact from your graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Then it deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's an interesting card. Oh, wow. We got the Beyond the Quiet. Dude, what a sick card. 5 cost sorcery. Exile all creatures in spacecraft. Wow, dude. What a beautiful card. What a beautiful card. That card is beautiful. Sammy's Curiosity, Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmissions. Pay 3, you can draw 2 cards and lose 2 life. You can also void. Cryogen Relic, Squire's Lightblade, Chrome Companion, Zookeeper's Mechan, Monois Circuit Feeder is a 6 cost artifact creature Nautilus with flying. When this creature enters until the end of the turn, target creature you control gets +X/+0, and target creature an opponent control gets -0, -X, where X is the number of artifacts you control. It's a 4/4. That's an interesting card. Dawnstrike Vanguard. Scour for scrap. Scene. Molecular Modifier is a 3 cost creature. At the beginning of your combat, on your turn, target creature you control gets +1/+0 and gains first strike until the turn. It's a 2/2. Emissary Escort, it's a 2 cost artifact creature. This creature gets +X/+0, where X is the greatest mana value among your artifacts you control. It's a 0/4 to start off with. Cerebral Download is a 5 cost instant. Surveil X, where X is the number of artifacts you control, then draw 3 cards. All right, we're getting towards the end of the box, chat. Slowly but surely, we're making it there. Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmissions, Alovi Operator, Exosuit Savior is a 3 cost creature with flying. This creature enters, return up to 1 other target permanent you control to its owner's hand. It's a 2/2. Nutrient Block, 1 cost artifact food. It is indestructible. You can pay 2 and tap it and sacrifice this artifact. You gain 3 life. When this artifact is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Zealous Display is a 3 cost instance. Creatures you control gets +2/+0 to the turn. If it's not your turn, untap those creatures. Wormwall Sweeper is a 2 cost artifact spacecraft. When the spacecraft enters, surveil 2. 4+ for its station cost. It's a 2/2. Code Cracker Hound is a 3-cost creature. Doggo. When this creature enters, look at the top 2 cards from your library. Put one into your hand, the other into your graveyard. Warp for 3. It's a 2/1. Edge Rover is a 1-cost artifact creature with reach. When this creature dies, each player creates a lander token. It's a 2/2. Dubious Delicacy is a 3-cost artifact food with flash. When this artifact enters, up to 1 target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. You can pay 2 and tap it to sacrifice this artifact. You gain 3 life. You can pay 2 and tap it, sacrifice this artifact. Target opponent loses 3 life. Bygone Colossus. Astili Reclaimers, your 5-cost creature, Angel Warrior with flying. When this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. Warp for 3, it's a 5/4. A Blooming Stinger. Another fantastic land. Flight Deck Coordinator. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Plasma Bolt. Hole Carver. Mental Modulation. Luxnight Breacher. Chrome Companion. Code Cracker Hound. Edge Rover. Full Bore. Starfield Vocalist is a 4-cost creature. If permanent entering the battlefield causes a trigger ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers additional time. You can warp it for 2. It's a 3/4. Oh boy. Uthros Titanic Godcore. Land planet. This land enters tapped. You can tap it to add 1. You can station it for 12+. You can pay island and tap, add 1 for each artifact you control. What a sick card, dude. I don't know if these are going to be good in play because I haven't played yet in this set, but what a cool card and a cool idea. Virus Beetle as our holo, and then we have a forest and our token. A pack that's a little hard to open. All right, we have Cav, Landseeker, Beamsaw Prospector, Cloud Sculpt Technician, Bright Spear Zealot, Sky Stinger, Nebula Dragon, Mechanozoa, 6-cost artifact creature. When this creature enters, tap target artifact or creature an opponent controls and put a stun counter on it. Warp it for 3. It's a 5/5. Dual Sun Technique. Systems Override is a 3-cost sorcery. Gain control of a target artifact or creature until end of turn. Untap that permanent. It gains haste until end of turn. If it's a spacecraft, put 10 charge counters on it. If you do, remove 10 charge counters from it at the beginning of the next instep. Gigastorm Titan. Let's go. Mana Confluence. Land. Pay 1 life. Add 1 mana of any color. Oh, it's so sick. Terminal Velocity, 6-cost sorcery. You may put any artifact, or put an artifact or a creature card from your hand on the battlefield. That permanent gains haste. When this permanent leaves the battlefield, it deals damage equal to its mana value to each creature. And at the beginning of your instep, sacrifice this permanent. Sammy's Curiosity as the holo. And then we have our land and token. Dude, so far so good on this box. That's all I'm saying. All right, we have Luxnight Breacher, Diplomatic Relations, Oreplate Pangolin, Perigee Beckoner, Alovi Operative, Exosuit Savior, Drill Too Deep, Verloyant Silencer is a 3-cost artifact creature. When a non-token artifact creature you control deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters on it. It's a 2/3. Poison counters! Seed-Shaped Impact is a 2-cost instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment. If its mana value was 2 or less, create a lander token. Uthros Scanship is our 4-cost artifact spacecraft. When the spacecraft enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. 8+ to station, gets flying, and it's a 4/4. Tragic Trajectory is a 1-cost sorcery. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. You can void it. That creature gets -10/-10 until end of turn. And instead, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell was warped this turn. Weft Walking is a 6-cost enchantment. When this enchantment enters, if you cast it, shuffle your hand in the graveyard into your library, then draw 7 cards. The first spell each player casts during each of their turns may be cast without paying its mana cost. Oh my god, dude. Cavron Turbo Drone. Land and Token. Alright, 4 more packs in this box. It's messing with me. Ice Cave Crasher. 4-cost creature with trample, landfall, gets +1/+0 until the turn. It's a 4/4. Orbital Plunge. Beamsaw Prospector. Alovi Galeblade. Night Luminary. Command Bridge. Thawbringer. Alovi Infiltrator. Sensorian Voidborn. Rescue Skiff. I think we saw that one earlier. It's 6-cost, and then when the spacecraft enters, return target creature enchantment to the battlefield. 10 to station. It gets a 5/6. We saw Cheat Ship earlier. Ooh, Cosmogoyf. 2-cost creature. This creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that number +1. Yo, I bet as a holo, this card's sick. What a great card. Diplomatic Relations holo. And land and token. 3 packs to go. Well, that pack was just ripped from the get-go. That's cool. It's at the bottom of the box, just open. Virus Beetle. Mechan Shieldmate. Flight Deck Coordinator. Intrepid Tenderfoot. Plasma Bolt. Command Bridge. Galactic Wayfarer. Sunstar. Lightsmith. Hymn of the Faller. Survey Mechan. Flying Hexproof. You can pay 10, sacrifice it. Yeah, we saw that one earlier. Specimen Freighter, 6-cost artifact. When this spacecraft enters, return up to 2 target non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hand. Pay 9+ for station. Flying, and whenever the spacecraft attacks, defending player mills 4 cards. It's a 4/7. Holy. That will do some damage pretty quick. Might Form Harmonizer is a 4-cost creature. Landfall, whenever a land you control enters, double the power of target creature you control until end of turn. Holy smokes. Warp for 3. It's a 4/4. Tapestry Warden. 4 costs with vigilance. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power assigns combat damage equal to its toughness rather than its power. Each creature you control with toughness greater than its power stations permanents using its toughness rather than its power. Wow, okay. Another good old swamp. Second to last pack. Maybe. A Nebula Dragon. Who would have thought it? Greypack Monoist. Cryo Shatterer. Weftblade Enhancer. Shattered Wings. Chrome Companion. Lost in Space. Scrounge for Eternity. 3-cost sorcery. As an additional cost, cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact creature, return target creature or spacecraft card with mana value 5 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Then create a lander token. That feels pretty good. Starfield Shepherd. 5-cost creature, flying. When this creature enters, search your library for a basic plains card or a creature with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it onto your hand, and shuffle. Warp for 2, it's a 3/2. Memorial Team Leader is a 4-cost creature. During your turn, other creatures you control get +1/+0. It has Warp for 2, it's a 4/3. Oh boy, we got a Lotus Field 2. Land, Hexproof. This land enters tapped. When this land enters, sacrifice 2 lands. Tap, add 3 mana value of any color. Dude. Wow. Just insanity. What a great card. Hardlight Containment. 1-cost enchantment aura. Enchant artifact you control. When this aura enters, exile target creature an opponent controls until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted permanent has ward 1. Larval Scoutlander. Saw earlier as a holo. Wow. All right. As my kids would say. Luke and Logan love to say, last pack magic, if I could talk. Probably because it's almost 2 a.m. and we're opening packs. We're ripping them. We have Banishing Light, Sammy's Curiosity, Slag Drill Scrapper, Decode Transmission, Cryogen Relic, Squire's Lightblade, Lost in Space, Full Bore, Mechan Navigator, Melt Stride's Resolve, Station Monitor, Sunstar Chaplain's a 2-cost creature. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Pay 2, remove a +1/+1 counter from a creature you control. Tap target artifact or creature. It's a 3/2. Vote out as a hollow. And then our mountain and token. That's a pretty good box. Definitely can't complain about it. Curious to see what people think about their pools, and do they think playing box league would have been easy with the box they got and being able to make a deck. That's something I'm definitely curious about. But yeah, that was our Edge of Eternities box. I'm pretty excited about it. We still have a collector's booster box to go, but those pools were pretty good.